Hello YouTube, I am your host, the Crimson Warrior, here with Shiny CC, and today we are going to be discussing the ban list and its changes it's made on the current meta, as well as the difference in perspectives between a newer player coming into the game a little bit. Hector's just joining us after a month of practice consistently.
Yeah, I've been going to tournaments with him for the last, on and off for the last, month and a half with a dinosaur deck that he helped get together for me.
Nice.
It's been pretty consistent, pretty good.
Try to get your face a little closer to the mic.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
And then a player like me who's been playing on and off for it's been since 2013. I've been playing pretty consistently at my locals. And so, getting right into it, my question for you, Hector, was why do you think that it's pretty standard, par for the course, for Konami to go so heavily after these meta decks like it has? Like, everyone got hit. Sky Striker, Salamangreat, Danger Thunder Dragon, and I'm forgetting someone, Orcust, with the Phantom Knight package. Why do you think that's par for the course?
I mean, that's not what I thought happens every ban list, but, I mean, some of them were obvious.
Yeah.
Salamangreat was going to get hit.
Yeah. It's cheap.
To some extent, Danger Thunder was going to get hit.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? Sky Striker was going to get a slap on the wrist somehow.
Well, we were all expecting Striker to get hit. They've been meta for a year. They've had a long time.
And I'm not saying, I'm not just trying to say, oh, well, they're just going to ban anything that's, been good for a while so they could push new stuff. Everybody says that. That's annoying.
Yeah.
I just feel like every so often they're just going to mix it up just to, not just for consistency and not just to make money on new stuff, but I just felt like eventually they were going to do this.
Now was the format defining moment. Now is the time for change.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like they could just not pull back if they don't like the way it's going. If people are just nope, Salamangreat's unplayable now. This is horrible. Can you please can we please push him back? Sky Striker's unplayable now. Can you please push it back? If they see that's a problem, people are really, really upset and just the meta's a mess, they might step it back. Who knows?
Yeah. So the thing with that is just player count. If player numbers start to go down, Konami will do whatever it takes to keep. They'll
look back and yeah. Another thing too is because the previous ban list before this, that was the one where they
everyone got a slap on the wrist.
Barely. That was the top thing.
Lady Debug to
Lady
one
Debug
was the
to
biggest
one.
hit on the list.
Yeah.
And what else was there?
I'm kidding.
Well, that came off.
That came off. We got helped.
I don't even remember.
Precious little miscellaneous sources.
Oh yeah.
But
card.
Yeah. But
no responding, please.
But there was what was I gonna say? There's I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm okay with I don't know how I'd feel if every ban list is just a tiny little you just get a little semi-limit.
Yeah.
You just get a little semi-limit.
Every
if they wanted
was just an adjustment.
Yeah, just a small adjustment. If they really wanted to shake things up, whatever, it's fine. I don't quite get to talk on that because I'm not the one who spent so much on their deck, so much time, money, and practice on it. But I just don't see it as super incredibly bad. We'll see. Like I said, we'll really see in the next few weeks when people start playing the way they do.
No, I got you.
So it's a little early for me to make that argument, but we'll see.
I was just curious, more than anything, to see why you thought that the time had come, and after that, it really makes sense. And honestly, we have had the same format that's been getting stale for a minute. And players haven't started to complain about it, but we were just getting to the point where it's been the same deck. Sky Striker's good. Orcust has been the bottom of the four, but still really good. Salamangreat is cheap and good. And then there's Danger Thunder Dragon, which is expensive and good.
Yeah.
And what got hurt the most was Salad, but that's because it's the structure deck, and we all know how Konami feels about meta structure decks.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Monarchs when they happened. That was bad.
So my question to you, Greg, that I had prepared, again, total novice, barely freshly coming back to Yu-Gi-Oh! After, forever, and, never playing competitive, just now playing competitive. If you could go over those decks and, why they're so hurt now. Those meta decks that were that were hit by the ban list, and why they're so hurt right now. Like,
all right, well, that's easiest for me to start with Salamangreat because I play it,
and I've seen you play it, so I kind of get the general consensus.
Exactly. Yeah. So the thing with Salamangreat was we went from 10 Gazelles with the one Lady Diva, the triple Cynet Mining, the triple Gazelle itself, and then the triple Salamangreat Circle. Now with Circle and Gazelle to 1, we've lost 4 of our Gazelles basically. So now we're running on 6, and basically now you can't side out Lady Debug. You need it. It's a consistency card for our engine. And 6 copies is significantly less on 10. And like 10, we almost had like...
That's a 1 in 4 chance of any given card starting a combo.
Exactly. So. In 1 in 4, you draw more than 4 cards in your starting hand.
Exactly. So
like,
that's not a bad dice roll.
90% chance you're going to get your Gazelle. Now we're to 6, and now that's...
starting to not happen.
I'm
like
just
it's
throwing
starting
math at the top of my head, but like 60%, like more than half of your games, but still sometimes you're not going to see it basically.
Yeah.
And it's searchable. There's other ways to get it out. You can use the Stalio to bring it out, or the Mirage Stalio to bring it out, but the Salamangreat's consistency was its superpower, and now it's lost like 30% of that consistency almost.
Understood.
And so that's where Salamangreat gets hit the worst, as well as we run triple Called by the Grave in the format. And DD Crow, while not as common towards the end of the format, was still a card that was seeing use, and DD Crow is now even more effective against the deck, because you hit the Gazelle and you hit the Jack Jaguar, and our resource game is over. We can't play.
Yeah,
so unless we got to some sort of end game, it's over from there. So next up you have Sky Striker, which received... Oh yeah, Kagari is what went to 1 last list, and then this list we hit
about
multi-roll. So...
And Engage, right?
No, Engage is at 3. The people were surprised Engage stayed at 3. The biggest thing with Sky Striker is it's actually... Now it's best, I think, as M. Cole 40 put it, it's best as a splashable engine now. Like, they're really putting pressure on Sky Striker as a pure deck, because now you can't multi-roll field spell consistently, especially with the limiting of terraforming as well this ban list. Do you have 2 terraforming in your deck?
Yeah, that's
you should remove one of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna start that right now
for sure.
And deck building. I have to make like 2 changes, but that's it.
I got you. And so now basically Sky Striker is almost better as a splashed engine in other decks. So that's interesting. So now though, the only way to ruin Sky Striker would be to ban one of these cards, to ban the multi-roll, to ban the Kagari, or to hit Engage, and the deck would be... It would barely be a splashable engine, and it wouldn't be a main deck probably at that point.
That's interesting.
And that's an uneducated opinion, mind you, because I still don't have the deck, don't play the deck. I plan on picking it up post Battles of Legends. I'm really interested in it, and I like the card art, actually.
Yeah.
And that's my thoughts on Sky Striker. So next we go from Striker to Orcust. And Orcust got 1 hit this list. They kind of came out the lightest out of everything hit because of... Konami's still making money on Orcust. We're still selling Dingrisus. We're still selling rarity copies of Orcust Nightmare. There's still money being made on that deck. So what they hit instead was the Phantom Knights part of the deck, which is actually really fair, because you basically removed 3 resources they got. They got 2 Fog Blades off of the Rusty Bardiche, plus an extra resource a lot of the times if they special summon the Silent Boots and use it to extend as well. And then on top of that, you have the fact that when they finally do XZ into a zone that Rusty is pointing to, Rusty gets to pop something. So it gave Dingrisu and Rusty all of this extra versatility. So to take that away, all of a sudden, now they have to create other plays to disrupt their opponents. They're not getting free disruption upon disruption upon disruption. Like, that was basically 3 free disruptions, which is what people's problem with the deck was, and why why they also hit Rusty, because everyone was taking advantage of Rusty. My Blackwings were taking advantage of Rusty. People's crap decks were taking advantage of Rusty. Like, it basically pushed some cards into the meta, because it was Foolish Burial on legs. It was...
Yeah.
Konami should have known that it was bad card design from the start. It's like, it's a Foolish Burial that also gets you a card. You're plussing how much off of this? So, that was Orcust, and then...
Danger Thunder's the last one.
Danger Thunder's the last one. Danger the Thunder received the most hits overall, but it felt like a million slaps on the wrist. It was just like... It's like, the babies hurt a lot. You lost a lot of consistency in the babies, but you still have the most broken card in the deck, the Chaos Dragon Levianeer, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
As well as... Sure, you lost 3 of your danger cards, 1 Ness, 1 Such, 1 Jackalope, but the deck's still consistent. The deck can still run Sekka's Light, the deck still has insane draw power, the deck still puts out insane boards. I think it was honestly the least touched of all of these decks, this list, just because their ceiling remained relatively the same in my mind. Now, I get the babies helped a lot with consistency, and now going into the Guard Dragons is probably going to be a little harder, but they're probably just going to make up for that by playing Crusadia now, instead of just extending into Baby Dragons. Now they'll probably play Crusadia instead. So now instead of Danger Thunder Dragon and Danger Crusadia being separate things, they're going to slowly become one deck this format.
Yeah.
And that's basically where the top 4 went. And then there's not even the top 4. Then we have Altergeist, a rogue deck that Konami, I guess, didn't even want to deal with. I guess Salamangreat into Aluminraz, Search the Multifaker, was just too strong multiple times. Like, they got rid of that right away. So, I mean, we had 1 locals to play triple Multiflate Acre with Aluminraj, and they took that away before we could even get to it. Like, that's really bad.
But Sangan, Greg, I'm kidding.
But Sangan, we gave Altergeist consistency. They have 3 more copies of Multifaker. Oh, they have a chance. We need to stop this. It was so bad, and I don't know, maybe it would have been bad. I don't like fighting back row decks, but I really don't feel like they deserved it out of... I mean, you're gonna ban an Altergeist card because Salamangreat support came out? Really?
Yeah, I remember I was like... Or sorry, were you going to say something?
I was going to say, did you have any other questions?
Oh, no.
That was my analysis on the top 4 and where I think... going into the new format, what do you expect the top 4 to be? And I can give you a little bit of inspiration from others if you'd like.
I'd say I might need that just because, like...
So really top rogue contenders going into the format were... Pendulum got a huge boost. They got 1 card back in the Luster Pendulum, which, I mean, isn't that great, but whatever.
Yeah.
And they were explosive before, and they didn't lose anything. And every other deck ceiling was lowered. So the deck may still have problems, but MCOL 40, Blade YGO, and 1 other Yugi Tube are all kind of agreements that every Pendulum player is looking at themselves right now, figuring out how they can...
Can they make it back?
Yeah, how can they make it
how
back
are they
into
gonna,
the top 4?
Yeah, is this their moment to strike since everybody else is hit?
Exactly. You know? Another huge contender going into this format that I think people are sleeping on is Heroes. Stratos to 2 with the release of Vision Heroes...
a good chunk.
...is insane.
Yeah.
And a walking macro Cosmos, like Salamangreat, took out the back door and shot the spam list, basically. And now you're giving our enemies a walking macro Cosmos more consistently, and we don't have cards in deck to deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
So I think Heroes going forward have a really good chance of maybe breaking the meta.
We're going to start seeing them more?
Probably.
Yeah.
Stratos to 2 is huge. Stratos to 2 is huge.
Yeah.
Other than that, Crusadia was down, but showing its head in a version of Danger, basically. So now Crusadia is going to have a chance to pop the head back into the format. Altergeist still basically has 4 multi-fakers in the form of Sangan. Even though they can't go into multiple multi-fakers, they basically have 1 more copy now. on top of that, what other decks were good going into this format?
I'm trying to think, like...
Your dinosaur deck might have a better chance of OTKing because the negate boards aren't going to be as ridiculous.
Harsh. Yeah.
So dinosaurs might have a chance to walk in this format and, swing around its big D.
Yeah, and I'll be there for it. Yeah, I remember that's something I was gonna... I remember that's like a joke that I kept like talking to you about before the new ban list. I was like, Greg, no, please don't touch my dinos. I love them. They're so precious
They'll
to
be
me.
fine. They took miscellaneous off.
Yeah, that's where I was like, please don't tell me like, oh, they don't like where this went and they're gonna take back Miscellaneousaurus.
Yeah.
I was afraid like, oh, are they gonna hit Soul Eating Oviraptor? Like, I don't think they would have hit UTC. He's not, like, that much of, like, an easy-to-summon OTK enabler. Like, he can definitely establish an OTK, but, like, I still have to protect him. I still have to, like, make sure he can get summoned. I still gotta make sure I can...
2 wins as long as your opponent has enough monsters on board, and you have a Pentastag.
Exactly. So, there is the chance of that not happening, so that's why I feel like they wouldn't get, like, why he wouldn't get hit. That's like they're not touching Overtech's Quatless. Like,
no, well, they're not touching anything on dinosaurs. It hasn't even walked into the format yet.
And going into like back row, like I mean, they hit Terraforming. I got to get rid of that now.
Yeah,
I got just the one now.
So going forward, what do you see? What do you see topping events consistently as the top 4? Where do you think the balance is going to lie?
I don't think we'll really be seeing too much Salamangre. I mean, we'll still see them, but I don't see them, like, topping a ton as much as they used to.
You think Salamangre's where Orcust was, basically? Bottom of the top 4?
Yeah.
Or not even?
I almost want to say yes to that, but, like, they just...
Yes to not even?
I almost want to say... Yeah, I want to say, like, yes, they'll be, like, bottom of the top, but, like...
where Pendulums was, basically.
Yeah, I'll say that. We're kind of right where Pendulums might be.
So you think Salamangre's right into tier 2? We're rogue, baby. Not rogue.
Okay, I'll say 1.5. They'll stay at 1.5 for sure.
So we're definitely outliers in the format.
Yeah, just because losing consistency hurts.
It hurts a lot.
It hurts, like, bad.
So going off of Salamangre, what's the step above it going into consistent... top 4 or top 3, whatever you feel.
Orcust, I don't know, 3 at 3. Let's see, and then...
Because all they lost was Rusty Bardish. And I mean, that was 2 extra negates and a few extra resources, which is a lot, but they still do Orcust things.
Yeah.
They could still end with a window on board, protected by Dingirisu, and basically walking summon limit your opponent.
Yeah, and honestly, I see... I kind of see, like, Sky Striker and Danger Thunder being kind of in the same zone as Orcust. It's just that, like, since Danger Thunder got hurt the least, and they still pretty much have all their same, like, play enabler cards, I feel like they'll kind of make out the best a little bit. Little bit of consistency, like, hurdles, but not as bad as Salamangre.
Well,
not
everyone got consistency hurdles. That's the thing. It's like... We're all checked moving forward, so it's interesting. It's like we could really see a top 4 shakeup. Someone could get bumped out, and honestly, what I see personally getting bumped out is pure Sky Striker.
Yeah,
pure Sky Striker isn't going to cut it anymore.
Yeah, I do like what you said earlier, where you said like it could end up being potentially more than anything just an engine rather than just like
in
people playing
decks,
in other decks, rather than just like a full. Just because I've seen some of those cards, I see what they can do, and they could work really well as an engine. I could absolutely. That's where I would absolutely agree with you.
Great card.
So that's not a question, but is it just like, are we going to see more of that than people just actually playing Sky Strikers, maybe with another engine, and that might go down as the engine strict engine percentage goes up. So
all right.
I could see that.
So now we have an idea of who you think is 2 and 3, basically, going into this format. You're calling it. What's the best deck?
As you previously discussed, I don't think Pendulum's gonna go all the way up there. Heroes might get on those like top 4 lists, but
not number 1.
I don't think it's gonna like gun it to number 1. Just to call it right now, I'll just say Danger Thunder, just because
That's honestly my opinion.
they walked away.
They still have Chaos Dragon 11 year.
Yeah,
one of the
like-
most broken cards in this game. And sure, they lost the babies, but the babies weren't the problem. They still have the Guard Dragon package. And moving
Yeah.
forward, they're just gonna adopt the Guard Dragons as their own. Like, they're gonna become brothers, and it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Danger's Guard Dragon, Thunder Dragon. Like, I see a lot of Thunder Dragon players actually dropping a lot of the Thunder Dragon package in favor of Crusadia, just because Crusadia keeps extending. I think it gives the deck consistency, because the worst part of Danger Thunder cards is drawing the Thunder cards.
Yeah,
The Thunder is the least...
happens from time to time.
Yeah, the least good part about the deck is the actual Thunder monsters that you main deck. Like, you want Colossus on field. That's about it. Other than that, you want to see Dangers.
You want to see the Danger portion of that deck.
Nice. Alright, so going forward, we're predicting that Danger Thunder Dragon is going to be the best deck, and that closely behind it we'll have Orcust and Sky Striker mixed with other decks as a second and third, and then trailing behind we'll have Salamangreat on crutches limping by with our one Gazelle in circle, because that's how we do.
And until the next ban list, if a currently existing deck, maybe with 1 or 2 new support cards over that time period, shoots back up, I'll gladly eat my words. I want to see that. I want to see, like, no, don't get me wrong. I would want to see Pendulums or Heroes or one of these other decks that we've talked about,
shoot up,
like out of nowhere. Like, I just, just the image comes to mind of a dude starting to come to locals. He has a war plan like thought out, and he actually like cuts through these decks.
Nice.
Like, if that happens, gladly eat my words. And then if a new kid rolls in town, we'll see what he's got.
Nice. Alright, so now we'll leave it to you guys. This is a call to go rogue. Bring rogue decks back this format. Now that the top 4 are all checked in some way, shape, or form, your rogue deck might compete.
You could exploit them. You can really capitalize on what they lost at the moment. I know I'm going to.
Oh, for sure. Alright guys, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, comment, say what you'd like down below, your thoughts on the ban list and where the top 4 are going. Share this video and subscribe if you enjoy my content, and hit that notification bell if you want to see me every time I upload, because it ain't stopping now. Peace, guys.